Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jeffrey E. Berger, and welcome to the Holistic Mental Fitness Series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment LLC, who I'm very, very excited to be partnered with, believes mental fitness is the new physical health. So, before I actually bring on my special guest today, Leisa Higbee, if I may share a couple of things. As a certified holistic wellness coach, I'm really humbled to be working with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company focusing on the microbiome. And people say, what is that? Great question. And it is actually your gut, brain, heart axis health. And it's a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today, especially when it comes to mental health. You know, who out there doesn't really experience stress, anxiety, depression, or even have had suicidal thoughts? In this interview series, which is very near and dear to my own heart, we're sharing stories with others who are opening up in conversations from all forms of life, all forms of wellness, to really help people understand it's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to talk about other kinds of help, to really let people understand that we need to do this, share experiences, and become more informed, especially with alternative options that are out there that are safe and actually work. What we do is we provide real solutions for real people who are serious about getting their physical and mental health from barely surviving to really thriving again. You know, there's no physical health without mental health. And they are really two sides of the same coin, and they're vital for each other and our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life that we get to live. How we feel is not just in our head, it's also in our gut. And this is what we do best. So before I bring on my special guest, and introduce her to you, I wanted to share with you through Mupo Entertainment. We are on multiple platforms here. You can watch this series on Mupo TV. You can download the Android app or the iPhone app. We're seen on Roku, Fire Stick. We may be going to Netflix. They are looking at us, so keep your fingers crossed. And this whole TV series accesses a plethora of other people just like myself, sharing stories, sharing valuable information that people are really looking for. So we'll be right back with Leisa Higbee. All right, we are back with Leisa Higbee, who is joining us from Saratoga Springs, Utah. Leisa is a mom of 4 sons and a daughter. She was a makeup artist, a very, very well-known, famous makeup artist in Utah. She sang with the Tabernacle Choir, and she is a fellow certified holistic wellness coach. We actually went through this certification together, which was a humbling experience. And she is the owner, founder, CEO at Integrity Wellness. Welcome, Leisa, my dear friend.
Oh, gosh. Thank you so much, Jeff. It's so fun to be here with you and to share my story. I'm really excited for people to hear it because I feel like it's been so transformative for me. I know that there are so many people out there who need what we have to offer. So
I'm in total agreement with you, and you do have an incredibly amazing story to share today. But before we jump into that, share a little bit with our viewers who Leisa Higbee is outside of running your own business, being a mom, and being a solo womanpreneur.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the most important things in my life is my family. That is where my main focus is. I'm also a believer, and so that is another huge part of my life. Music is a big part of my life. You basically said who I am. I spend a lot of time working to help other people find wellness. And when you said mental wellness is the new physical wellness, it absolutely, absolutely it is. Because I'll tell you what, I've been physically fit in my life and mentally unwell. And that affected so much more than any of the physical fitness was helping me, if that makes any sense.
It makes total sense. And the more I'm doing this, the more I'm learning the dots to the puzzle are being connected, or the pieces of the puzzle are being put together, because science is proving that gut health is really a focal point. It is the root cause to pretty much everything that's out there.
Absolutely.
And it's just amazing. And it's just a matter of time before more and more people are going to wake up to realize what's really going on in this world. And they need to make some changes, some drastic changes, if they want to grow healthy
Yeah.
and live a long life. Because I grew up, as I was getting older, I should say, life really sucked.
Yeah.
And it doesn't anymore. And I know why. And I want to share that with people, because so many people are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when we moved down to Florida, I always grew up knowing that Florida was God's waiting room. We got down here and I'm like, oh my God, most of these people are in the waiting rooms of doctors and they're not enjoying their retirement. So I said, I want no part of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So you've really had a very long health journey and have come so far today with amazing results. So I'd like to have you share a little bit about your initial journey when things started to go and take turn with you that you were not expecting.
Right.
And yeah, share a little bit about that, because it's just it's amazing.
Okay. I've lived a life full of really wonderful things, but also extremely stressful and difficult things. A lot of trauma. And then I was told all my life, stress kills. Well, I was doing fine, I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what was happening to my body. And I'll be honest with you, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was very traditional in my approach to medicine. And so I didn't ever really go the health route, and I always thought it was a little woo woo, and then I
Totally get it.
I didn't want anything to do with it until one night I was in such pain that and nothing would stop it. It started in one arm, and nothing. I couldn't sleep. It was so painful. I can't. There aren't words to describe it.
It was debilitating.
It was, and in a week later, it started happening in my right hand, my right arm, and so it was. And very shortly, I was flat in bed. 90% of my time I was spending in bed because I was so sick. My energy was completely gone. I was trying to figure out what in the heck had happened, because how does this happen overnight? It literally happened overnight. And there were symptoms that were just, let me explain some of them. My skin and my tissues began to harden, which is what they call turning to stone. And I was actually diagnosed with an autoimmune disease where that's what it is. You're turning to stone. Your tissues harden, both on the inside and outside. And it's called diffuse systemic scleroderma. And it took me a year to know what that was. It's such a rare one that doctors just didn't know. And so they were throwing this medicine and that medicine. And finally, I was on about 11 different medications, which, and I was still getting worse. I was so sick, and I knew I was dying. I knew I was. They'd given me, I asked in the beginning, I said, okay, well, how long does someone with this particular disease live? And I don't think they should ever tell you that.
No, they shouldn't.
I don't think they should. But anyway, you're curious to know. It's like, what do I have to look forward to here? And
Right.
they said from when you're diagnosed, between 2 to 15 years. I'm thinking, wait, I have these little teeny grandkids that I want to see and be a part of their lives, want to see them date and get married and all the things, that I'd planned on. And so it was so devastating to me. What I did finally, I was luckily got with the doctor who specialized in this particular disease.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the very first things she said, Jeff, this was like almost unreal. She said, especially now that I know what I know, she
Sure.
said, if you can get your gut healthy, you will feel so much better.
Bingo.
This is a medical doctor. This was a traditional medical doctor. She was younger and more open, which I'm so grateful for, because so many are not. I mean, it's like, let's just keep doing these medications, there's no hope. This is all you got, is managing this. Anyway, she was amazing. And so it was like, okay, what do I do? What do you mean? How do you get your gut healthy? Are you calling me fat? I mean, I just didn't know. That's how ignorant I was. Well, that started me on a intense course of learning about how to get your gut health.
Sure.
And so I went, she says, I want you to go get the best probiotic. That's all she said, a really good probiotic. And I want you to go on this specific diet to help reduce the inflammation in your body. And we'll see if that can help you feel better. Because it was basically we're just going to help you manage this. There's really nothing that will stop you from having it. So I went, and I immediately from the doctor's office went, and if you've ever bought a probiotic, you know that there are like
gazillions.
Which one?
Right.
Which one am I supposed to get? So of course I bought the most expensive because that's the one that probably is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've learned a lot since that time. Nothing was really helping me. And this was a year process that I ended up on all of the 11 different medications. And
so you were at a point where you were testing what your doctor recommended, which is
right.
pretty rare, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But you were at a point of hope. You were, seeking for that hope of what is out there that will help me with what I'm going through. And it was around that time that you were introduced to the Holistic Mental Wellness Company that focuses on the microbiome, your gut health. So
Right.
share when you were introduced, what were your feelings? What were your, what were you thinking?
One of the main things I was struggling with, aside from no energy and I couldn't move because I couldn't close my hands, I couldn't straighten my arms, it was changing me. I'd move my face, I'd turn and it would do this. It was changing everything about me. It was so awful. And I was getting so depressed and had anxiety just off the charts. Now, I'd experienced depression and anxiety most of my adult life. I'd even tried some medications. I hated how they made me feel.
Sure.
I knew this was worse. I knew I was in trouble. And I went to my doctor and I said, I don't want to take another antidepressant. And I just need to feel better. And so I'm going to wait. But if I call, will you just prescribe it? And so I didn't want to get the prescription at that point. 2 weeks from that doctor's visit, I was introduced to a company that their whole process is rebalancing the gut-brain connection. And I learned, once I started taking their products, I learned that if we can get that into better balance, I don't care who you are, athlete, someone who is so sick and can't hardly move like me, or someone who has brain fog or ADD or cancer, all of these things, you get their gut brain axis in better balance and their whole body will respond. Well, I thought I was taking this for depression and anxiety. They're called the mental wellness company. So that's what I thought. I didn't know. I didn't even have any idea that it would help me physically. And so when my first response to these products was a physical response, I couldn't even believe it. It's like, wait, what is happening? Because I could close my hands for the first time in about 18 months.
Wow.
And that's massive. I'm a hair and makeup artist. You can see I'm here in my salon. I don't really do hair and makeup anymore because I lost my business that I had built for 30 years.
Wow.
And so when I started using these products and they helped me, my mental fog lifted, my depression lifted, but the very first thing was the physical thing. So that's what I started looking at. I'm going, wait a minute, is this going to be something that will help me? And I remember sitting in the meeting, the very first thing I went to, and it literally was like heavens.
Hallelujah.
It was like I knew there was something that I believe truth resonates with us.
Sure.
When a truth comes and you just get it, I knew this was going to help me. I didn't know to what degree. Well, 5 months into using these products, I was able to wean off everything.
Wow.
And been medication free since. One of those was a chemo, suppressant. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
An immune suppressant. So this was major for me. And it was like I started feeling literally like myself for the first time in years, not just from when I got sick.
Sure.
For the first time in years, it was like, wow, this is something. How do you not share that with everybody, Jeff? Seriously.
So you're sharing it today with us. That's awesome. I'm so humbled. We're so humbled. And you talked about it took you 5 months to come off the medications. It took me 9 months to come off of 5, but 5 months to come off of all the ones that you were on, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I want to bring about here is that so this is more of a phased benefit type of process. Many of us have been destroying our bodies for decades. It's not going to be the red pill or the blue pill. Hello, in 2 months I'm happy, or a month I'm happy and I'm cured and I'm this and I'm that. So now you're well into like 4 to 5 years now. So where are you today? In to where you were back then. I'm sure that there's been a significant change from then to now, even more so. So share. I'm excited to hear about that.
You know what, Jeff? It has been such a journey for me. I can't. Trying to put it into such a small period of time is almost impossible.
Sure.
But what I can say is that for me, this has been nothing short of miraculous for me. And I say that with all integrity. It at 11 months after I started, I no longer had an active, my immune system was not fighting me anymore.
Oh, wow.
And so I haven't had any active sign of it in the past almost 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
Almost 5 years.
Awesome.
So that's my goal, is to keep this at bay.
Sure.
As best I can. I could never say that this is exactly what will happen to everybody, because everybody will respond different depending on how dysbiotic we are in our gut microbiome. If it's so out of balance, it may take you longer. For some reason, and I don't know exactly why, but for some reason it happened very, very quickly for me, and I'm so grateful. And so my goal now is to keep things healthy, to keep
preventative. Keep preventative, keep healthy, staying as healthy as possible.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I take this like my life depends on it, because I believe it does. And I believe that anyone's life can be blessed. by this?
No,
Anyone?
I totally agree, Lisa. And since our certification, I've been doing more and more research, and I actually published an ebook called "How to Eliminate Stress Without RXs." And we have over 10,000 man-made chemical food preservatives in our foods today. I did research on 25. Every single one of them, and the side effect is stress, anxiety, depression, and gut dysbiosis. What does that mean? It eats away at your gut. So these foods that are supposed to be good for us
Mhm.
are eating away at our gut and destroying it, and all of that stuff is getting in, and we wonder why we have the number of diseases that we do today. Because if there's 10,000 chemicals, they're all doing something to us, and it's just a matter of time before hopefully everybody will wake up and say, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. We gotta make some drastic changes here.
Well, when you look at what we've done to our earth,
Oh,
the soils that we grow our foods in,
no,
the hormones that we feed the animals that we are eating,
absolutely correct.
the pollution that's in our atmosphere, how can we not know that that's going to have its effect on us? And
Exactly.
so honestly, Jeff, I don't think that we can actually get what we need in our diets right now. That's why these kinds of things, we actually have to culture some of the stuff that we use
Right.
as ingredients in our different products, because you just can't find them. You can't find a really healthy, natural state of them without them
Exactly.
having been altered to some degree. So this has been it has been such a revelation to me to know that I have more control over
Mhm.
over my health, over my future
Right.
than I ever understood.
Yeah. Big time.
And I'll tell
Big.
you what I wish is that I would have understood this when I was in my early 30s.
Oh, absolutely.
What a difference it would have made in my life. I probably would not have gotten sick, had I understood
Right.
these principles that these products are based and built around. It's
Yeah.
just
Well, we're at a point where modern technology is at a place where it comes up with some really amazing research and studies and clinical studies. And when we talk about supplementation, you got to make sure that it's science backed, clinically trialed. And I'm going to say plant based.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
so important because food was put here, or plants were put here for a reason. Food is medicine.
mhm,
So we're kind of coming up towards the end of the interview series here, but I want to take a quick commercial break about we talk about mental health, we talk about feeding the brain. We need to feed the brain with proper nutrients, and
mhm,
we want to make our brains happy because there's too much brain fog, there's too
mhm,
much stress, anxiety, depression, and it's all about the neurotropics. And neurotropics are really they are potent adaptogens to really help with motivation, focus, mental energy, and overall state of mind and bringing that us to the next level.
mhm.
And I want to share this next commercial is going to it's going to share about motivation and brain health, neuron regeneration, as well as focus and memory, and then also mental energy. So we'll be right back with Lisa Higbee.
I move at the speed of light, and this is something I wouldn't dare to think I would be doing. And you go round and round and keep your head up high. Suddenly you know something.
I love this
Awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff. And just I'm going to ask you a question about your experience on this, but I've seen a lot of testimonials where people are coming off of Lexapro, Paxil, Zoloft,
Mhm.
because of these natural solutions rather than taking these chemical solutions. And we're getting unprecedented results with
Mhm.
regards to this holistic plant based protocol. So, share a little bit about what this. This product, this package has
Mhm.
done for you. We've talked a little bit about it, but share with our viewers what is specifically is done for you.
Oh my goodness. One of the things that I've learned as a certified mental wellness coach is that one of the worst epidemics we have in this country are people cannot get off their antidepressants. It
Right.
is so hard. And I have to say I've been on them, and getting off is so hard. And so this allows people to take something that can help support them in that process of weaning down off of it. And it is not near as painful a process as it could be.
Sure.
This particular pack is so amazing. I mean, one of the another thing I feel like we have that is so unique is that the strains that we use of the different probiotics, the different kinds of ingredients that we use are all formulated to help stimulate
Mm.
the natural production
Yeah.
of the happy neurotransmitters. So you get your serotonin, which is 90% of it's produced by the bacteria in the gut.
Correct.
Your norepinephrine, your GABA,
Yeah,
the
neurotransmitters. Correct.
all of those neurotransmitters. That's where they're at. We thought they were all up here, and so we're addressing them from the wrong place.
Exactly.
You start feeling better with something like this happy pack, and you start doing better. It changes your life. It really can make that massive of a difference. I am so grateful for these products, what they've done for me, what they're doing for so many people. I actually have a group right now, a Facebook group. Oh, yeah, you got the
I,
happy juice.
I've got. I never. It's with me all day long.
Yep. I'm teaching them how to use these products and also use movement and sleep and nutrition. So we don't like to say, here, just take this pill and you'll feel better, even though you probably will feel better. But
Right.
you add movement, exercise, you add proper nutrition, you add
Good
enough
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. It
Yeah.
changes people's lives.
Big
And
time.
so it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So, if there was one piece of advice that you could give anybody who is watching, who is um, who is looking for that glimmer of hope,
Mhm.
whether it's personal, professional, um, that would take them to that next level of like saying, this makes sense. I need to investigate this. What would that be?
Trust your gut. If anything resonated with what we've talked about in this interview, trust your gut and look at everything you can learn about this, because it is the cutting edge of research in science and medicine. It's the thing that's going to change people's lives. And what I love so much about Amari is they are on the cutting edge of everything
Right.
in having to do with this. We are the first to market with anything like this.
Yeah.
And so we know what we're doing. We know what we're
Perfect.
doing, and we've got people running it that have integrity, humility, love, service, and we are constantly innovating new products and programs,
Right.
programs that help.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. And at least I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be my special guest today. You brought so much value. And with everything that you shared, especially your story, because there are people out there desperate for help, for hope. They're looking for hope. You brought hope. which is very, very special. And I'm humbled and very privileged that you you agreed to do this with me. It's just amazing, and we are changing the world, and we are just doing this from all aspects of health and wellness. And I do want to share. So for next week, I have Tiffany Apara. She's a transformational coach. She is an online fitness trainer. She's a best-selling author. She's a motivational speaker, and she always has that smile on going all the time. Every time I'm on a call with her, a Zoom call that is, you got those big old teeth coming out, and she's smiling away. And you don't want to miss her story for next week. And she's an incredible woman, and I enjoy working with her as part of my tribe. And so remember this, we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Today, it's about choice. You have to make different choices to get a different result in your life. And you have to make, I say you have to start taking control. You have to start taking control, because what's out there is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you have to be that person to be in control. Lastly, mental fitness is the new physical health. And I'll see you guys on the inside next week. Thanks. Thank you.